Childhood trauma is like an internal storm that sees with silent chaos brewing within us, shaping thoughts, emotions, and actions in ways we may never understand. Hi, my name is Jemima Stella in Cancer, and together we will be delving into childhood trauma, the silent chaos within. Dr. Bruce Perry, who is a psychiatrist and expert on childhood trauma, defines childhood trauma as the experience of an event by a child that is emotionally painful or distressing, which often has a lasting adverse effect on the child's physical, emotional, and psychological well-being. Have you ever been shoved, verbally abused, or insulted by a parent, family, colleague, or teacher? Humans, especially children, do not have to be in serious conditions to face trauma. Danielle Burnock, in her recent book Emerging with Wings, states that, and I quote, "Trauma is personal. It does not disappear if it is not validated. When it is ignored or invalidated, the silent screams continue, internally heard only by the people held captive." According to a study done by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs on post-traumatic stress disorder, about 400 million children worldwide suffer from childhood trauma. 14 out of 43% are boys. 15 out of 43% are girls. In which 65% of these traumas are as a result of neglect, 18% physical abuse, 10% sexual abuse, and 7% mental abuse. Let us look at the story of Rita, a young teenage girl who suffered childhood trauma as a result of verbal abuse and neglect. The sound of shouting and verbal abuse had become so familiar that Rita no longer winced in pain. As a child, Rita's world was supposed to be filled with laughter, safety, and love. Unfortunately for her, it was a place filled with loneliness and darkness. She never knew when the yelling or the harsh words that stab her heart like daggers would start. The warmth in her home is now replaced with coldness. Her home, instead of being a refuge, became a place of fear. The main literature for this work is The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk. The book emphasizes on the author's courageous journey into the powerfully dissociative world of trauma victims and the medical and psychological discipline that are meant to provide relief. In the book, Van der Kolk and his colleague Nina adopt Henry Murray's famous thematic apperception test, which uses a set of cards to discover how people's inner reality shape their view of the world. They decided to use 12 children between the ages of 6 to 11, each from a children's clinic, and in this slide, there is a card depicted a family scene. While the control children told stories with benign endings, like the car would get fixed and maybe dad and the kids would drive to McDonald's, the traumatized kids came up with gruesome tales. One girl said the little girl in the picture was about to smash in her father's car. Even though the responses from the clinic children were alarming, they were as a result of childhood trauma. The most innocent images stirred up intense feelings of danger, aggression, sexual arousal, and terror. The cards were ordinary images of everyday life. They could only conclude that for abused children, the whole world is filled with triggers. Negligence is one major cause of childhood trauma. Many parents are so caught up with work and personal issues that they neglect their parental responsibilities. Some may take their stress and anger on their wards, causing fear, inept responses, and communication failure. The preeminent way to control childhood trauma is to pay attention to every alarming change in the children, and also to listen to them and support them. Parents and also acting parents should also build a good relationship filled with love. Also, some parents who suffer their own traumas, such as death of a loved one, separation and divorce, mental illness, and abuse of any form, should seek professional care to deal with their problem so that they can raise mentally stable children.